Welcome to Christianity with Brother Mike. Today, our topic is bastard. Bastard. Bastard simply means begotten or born out of lawful matrimony. Begotten or born out of lawful matrimony. Bastard also means illegitimate. So let's look at Hebrew chapter 12 from verse 8. Hebrew chapter 12 from verse 8. But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are you bastards and not sons. But if you be without chastisement, whereof are all partakers, then are you bastards and not sons. Once you are without chastisement, you are a bastard. Look at what verse 7 says. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? He said, if you can endure discipline, if you can endure correction, if you can endure godliness, he said, God dealeth with you as a son. In Christendom, we welcome chastisement. In fact, that's what makes us sons in the kingdom. How do we get chastisement? Through God's word, through Jesus' instructions, through those things that he has given to us to do. If we also have somebody that have gone ahead of us in God's word that can help us to teach us those things that have been given, we should also welcome it and accept it with humility and simplicity. I like that verse 8. He said, but if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are you bastards and not sons. He said, we believers know ourselves with chastisement. Bible and say, if you be without it, then you are a bastard. One day Jesus chastised many of his followers. In John chapter 6, verse 60, they said, this is an hard saying, who can hear it? Chastisement is usually hard. God is our Father. He speaks to us through his word. Sometimes it can also be men that will interpret it to you in a way that you understand it better. In John chapter 6, verse 66, Bible says, from that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. This group of people couldn't endure chastisement. They say Jesus is so insulting. He talks to people anyhow. He's so vulgar. How do you guide people? Through God's word. Not through your intellect or through your worldly understanding and wisdom. Use Bible to teach a child in a way you should grow. In Romans chapter 15 verse 1, Bible says, we then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. We then that are strong. How you know a growing believer is somebody that have identified his or herself as someone that is strong. Bible said, we then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak. There are too much babies in Christendom and they have so much infirmities. So you have to bear them. Carry them along. Keep on teaching. Keep on being there for them. But that doesn't mean you won't chastise them. Once they want to fall out of faith, being strong is a level you should look up to in ministry, so that you can be bearing the infirmities of the weak. The weak has so many complaints, how somebody offended them, how things are not going well with them in their business, how their family is having issues. They have so many complaints. These are the weak. Bible says you that are strong have to bear the infirmities. They have so many luggages, so many baggages. They have so many things they are complaining of that will make them not to come to fellowship, that will make them not to go for evangelism, that will make them not to preach the gospel, that will make them not to identify with Christ. They have so many baggages. Bible says, we then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 15. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yes, so as by fire. If you continue being strong in the Lord, working out your salvation with fear and trembling, bringing people up in the fear of the Lord, and finally those works get burnt, Bible said you are going to be saved. If any man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So if you are sure that the chastisement you are getting is for you to drop some of the evil ways that you found yourself into, rejoice in such chastisement, because it is for good. So be glad whenever chastisement comes your way, because you are a son. It shows that you are not a bastard. See you next time when we bring God's word to you in Christianity with Brother Mike. Bye for now.